Hey, what's going on, everybody? It's Wilhelm Scream, and welcome back to the channel for more Destiny 2 news and intel. Today, once again, is Friday, so we have our Friday weekly update. XUR has returned. No Trials of Osiris this week because we still have Iron Banner for the remainder of the weekend, at least until Tuesday's reset. So we're going to cover all the information regarding XUR, as well as some update information on Iron Banner, and all the other farms, glitches, and cheeses that you can use heading into the weekend if you haven't had a chance to play very much this week. Some really great farms for some very good endgame weapons if you're a PvE player, and a couple of good things for PvP as well. Heading over to XUR. First up, we have the Vigilance Wing Catalyst. I find that this is a great weapon in PvP at the moment. It was one of the first exotics I actually got in D2. Still works really well in PvP. It didn't for a little while, it kind of took a break, but now with pulse rifles where they are, I find this is a go-to exotic for pulse rifles, and pulse rifles are kind of my go-to exotic in PvP. So definitely consider picking up the Vigilance Wing Catalyst if you don't have it. We have a Le Monarch Catalyst. This is an excellent weapon for PvE, specifically endgames for hunters who are running Void. Pick this up. If you don't have the Catalyst for this exotic, it's great. It's one of the most versatile exotics. I don't even use bows, and I'm saying this. I actually never use this weapon myself, but I have a buddy, Sinister, who swears by it, and he's always the one putting me in his backpack to get me through things like GMs. So if you're a hunter especially, but any game, any player playing any class in the game will probably do well to have this in their arsenal. For exotics, for the hunter class, we have the Orphidius Scythe with a 63 roll, high mobility, but low total roll, unfortunately. That's for the hunter class, if I didn't say it. We have the Dune Marchers for the Titan with a 64 roll, pretty even across the board. And then we have the Prometheum Spur with a 61 roll for the Warlocks, really terrible total stats and nothing as far as a standout particular stats. So fairly low, actually, when it comes to exotic armor this week across the board. The Dune Marchers used to be a decent exotic. I used to use them, but I don't know how they pair well with the new builds. There's probably something better. But let me know if you're picking up any of these exotics or any of the catalysts in the comments section down below, or if there's a particular build with any of these exotics like Dune Marchers that you might be running. Any comment will be another entry into the next giveaway on this YouTube channel, which will be at 85,000 subscribers for this video. You can also stick around till the end of the video for that secret hashtag. We do have exotic class items for sale this week, so time to farm them out. If you were someone who just picked up your first exotic class item through the Festival of the Lost a couple of weeks ago, you can now farm these from XUR for strange coins. You can get as many as you want. So long as you have the 41 strange coins to buy one, you can continually buy exotic class items and get different rolls on them. You won't be able to focus them, of course, if you haven't completed Dual Destiny, but still, being able to just farm them out. Strange coins are not that hard to come by. The best thing I would say to do this week is either run the Nightfall on low level for strange coins, or just go to the Cosmodrome and run any of the strikes from the Cosmodrome through the directory selection screen versus the Vanguard playlist. So just go and select Devil's Lair, for example, and you can run with the buff and get a lot of strange coins pretty quick. It'll only take you about 4 minutes per run if you select it from the directory screen in the Cosmodrome. We still have a XUR board. If you haven't bought it, it's still here for the remainder, well, until you buy it, basically. And I know, I still haven't bought it, and I'm sure I'm going to hear about it, because I hear about it every weekend. But if you want to tell me how much you hate the fact that I have not bought this particular skimmer yet. Remember, I still have the skimmer from Guardian Games. You can leave that in the comments section down below. I'll give you another entry into the next giveaway for this video. On our second page, we have the XUR quest, the exotic cipher quest. Remember, if you want to turn your exotic piece of armor into essentially an artifice armor piece, you are going to need an exotic cipher, so pick this up if you don't have it. On our more strange offers page, we have an Ascendant Alloy for 23 strange coins. We have enhancement cores, 3 enhancement cores for 3 strange coins. 17 enhancement cores for 29 strange coins. We have 19,997 glimmer for 5 strange coins. Thank you. I always pick up the glimmer. It's one of the best glimmer farms, just for convenience sake. 5 and 7 strange coins, very easy to come by. And of course, you have essentially 30,000 strange coins or 30,000 glimmer for 7 strange coins. We also have Vanguard engrams for sale this week. I always recommend buying the glimmer just because, like I said, it's so convenient. It's really cheap glimmer. I know glimmer's not that hard to come by, but plenty of places you can farm out glimmer, and I know where all of them are. But still, just for convenience sake, why not pick up what is essentially 50,000 glimmer for, you know, the price of 1 strike with the XUR buff. Remember to pick up the Favor of the 9 buff if you plan on farming out any of those exotic class items. It's going to make your life a whole lot easier. Over to our strange gear offers page and the real meat and potatoes of today's video, because we have, I'm going to start off with it, the Graviton Lance. This is one of the best weapons in the game for PvP and PvE. PvE, it's actually been really good since the launch of the final shape, but for PvP, I've just sort of caught on that this is actually excellent. I've been running it a ton in Iron Banner. It's kind of like having a sniper rifle that's just good at close range as well as really long range, but nothing as far as a primary weapon really ever outranges this. I find that it's a headshot king, and if you can get the cosmology to proc, you know, people are sitting on a flag, you're gonna absolutely destroy all of them. I've gotten like 4-man kills with this. So pick it up if you don't have it. It's unfortunate that we don't have the catalyst for it for sale. That would be really cool. But definitely the best exotic for sale this week. And remember, in PvE, it is like no joke. No joke. But I don't think I have to talk about that quite as much. The Colony, the ultimate troll weapon for Gambit. If you're playing Gambit, this is the thing that is going to make the other team just hate you. I always recommend picking it up if you don't have it, though I'm sure a lot of people do, because this is another one of those weapons that on occasion glitches out, and there's been several cases in raids. For example, the reprised Vault of Glass, or I believe it was Root of Nightmares. There was areas where there was enemies that needed to be debuffed, or yeah, I think it was a debuff before you could actually do damage to their shields, or you needed to have a special pickup or a special buff to do damage to the shields, and of course those things are always on a timer. The Colony was able to bypass all of that, and if you just muzzle stuffed the enemy with the impenetrable shield with the Colony, it would just take down the shield. So those things, of course, were patched, but you never know when another one's going to come along, or you never know when this is going to break again. It's kind of like a Telesto in that way. It's such a unique weapon that it has a tendency to break things. So pick it up if you don't have it. We have a Sweet Business, which I've gotten killed by a lot, actually, in Iron Banner recently. Never use it myself, but if you're into this kind of auto rifle, well, hats off to you, but also pick it up if you don't have it. You can just continually fire if you don't know what this weapon does. Kind of takes a minute to spool up, but once you got that running, you're a real pain in the neck. Anyway, on to Hawkmoon with Surplus and a Heavy Grip. To our legendary weapons, we have a distant pull sniper rifle with ensemble, explosive payload, and unsalted hunger. Unsalted. I always say those things incorrectly, but this is a deep sight activation weapon. Tell me what I said incorrectly in the comments section down below. Another entry into the next giveaway, as always. We have the Nightshade with Under Pressure, Collective Action, and Vanguard's Vindication. We have a Tarnished Mantle with Rapid Hit, Eye of the Storm, Right Hook, another deep sight activation weapon. I would actually say this is decent with the right rolls for PvE at the moment. We have a Bug Out Bag with Air Assault, Swashbuckler, and Disaster Plan. We have a Tarantula with Pulse Monitor and Kill Clip. We have a Memory Interdict with Pulse Monitor and Unrelenting. And then for the Warlocks, we have the Eternity's Edge Sword with Infinite Guard, Tireless Blade, and Counterattack. We have the Lost Pacific Armor Set for sale. This is actually a really old school one, and though it's not one that I would wear, I always did find it kind of interesting because it sort of looks like a spacesuit. But in any case, for the Warlocks, 66 on the gauntlets, but terrible stat distribution. 64 on the chest piece, also not great stat distribution. We have 65 on the helmet, decent stats, and then we have a 64 on the boots, kind of throwaway stats. So it seemed to be kind of like this across the board on all three characters. Nobody really had any standouts. I've checked the Titan and the Hunter, kind of the same. Some mid-level stat rolls, but not really great stat distributions. I think the Hunters might have had one decent stat distribution, but that's about it. And that is going to be it for all the information regarding XUR today. Hopefully you found some of that information helpful. If you were just here for XUR, please remember to like, comment, and subscribe to the YouTube channel. Turn on the bell to post notifications. Remember, any of those things enter you into any future giveaways on this YouTube channel. We do one every 1,000 subscribers, and if we reach 100,000 subscribers, we'll be giving away an Xbox Series or a PlayStation or a video card if you play on PC. You can also stick around till the end of the video for that secret hashtag for another entry into the next giveaway for this video. Cover some other tower stuff really briefly. We have Banshee's loot. I think there was something good. Another memory interdict with Surplus and Unrelenting. We have a Peace of Mind with Perpetual Motion, Moving Target, and Land Tank, Deep Sight Activation. We have a Jurassica 3 SR with Rapid Hit, Headstone, and Vice Stinger. I would actually really recommend picking this up. Scout Rifles are in the Champions meta, and Stasis is in the Champions meta, and Headstone is a great perk. Plus Vice Stinger and Rapid Hit. It's just a good scout rifle. Really good pickup, especially for newer players. We have a hand-in-hand shotgun with Slide Shot, Elemental Capacitor, and Field Tested. And then we have a funnel web with Killing Wind, Thresh, and Vice Stinger. Also a really good funnel web. Over at Commander Zavala, this week we have for the Nightfall weapon, and of course, if you can do the GM Nightfall, the Adept version of the Undercurrent. And I did post a video earlier this week, bunch of glitches that you can use in the new version of the Inverted Spire, which is the featured Nightfall this week. Good for solo players and for groups. I would actually encourage everybody to pick this up if you don't have it. If you can get it in the Adept form, all the better. This is a very I would say a much easier weapon to get, and is comparable to Forbearance, which you get from the raids. So if you're not somebody who does or raids very often, that's very comparable. I would say even with the right rolls, maybe even better. Iron Banner, as I said, still going on for another week, and you really need to pick up a Tenashi's Mastery if you don't have one, because this weapon is absolutely broken at the moment. It procs Devour if you can get one with Chill Clip. So if you're turning in any Iron Engrams, this is the thing you want to go for. If you want to get more Iron Engrams, remember to equip ornaments, which you can buy from Lord Saladin. And remember that if you have pieces of Iron Banner gear, that's actual pieces of Iron Banner gear that you might have gotten from a Iron Banner completion, or an Iron Banner weapon also counts as an Iron Banner piece of gear. Make sure to equip them so you can get more iron Ingrams per run. You'll get more rank as well. And that you can actually equip an iron ornament on top of an already existing piece of Iron Banner piece of gear. So essentially changing what the Iron Banner piece of gear looks like, and you will get double for that. So it'll count as 2 pieces of gear for the price of 1. Talked about that, I believe, last week. So if you want any more information about that, you can check that video, but I think that kind of explains it. And remember, the weapons work as well in Iron Banner. Quickly just head around the map really quick. Over in the Dreaming City, we have the Legendary Lost Sector today, the Bay of Drowned Wishes. This is a really easy one to farm, so I encourage you to go do it. We have the Last Wish raid this week, if you want the 1000 voices. We have the Shattered Throne dungeon, which needs an update. Over on the moon, we have the Duality dungeon as well, which is a decent source of Artifice armor. And over on Savathun's Throne World, we have the Vow of the Disciple raid as well. Over on Europa, the Vespers Host dungeon has still not been patched, and you can still skip the first encounter. Glitch into what would be the second part, I'll call it encounter 1.5, deposit 3 bombs, and it will auto-complete the first encounter. If you don't know about that out-of-bounds glitch, I've covered it a few times on the channel, and of course I will have a video linked in the top right corner. And that is going to conclude all the information for today's video. Please remember to like, comment, and subscribe to the YouTube channel. Almost 80% of the people who watch on a regular basis are still not subscribed, so any new subscribers is really appreciated and really does the most to support the channel. So thank you so much for being here, as always. Hopefully you found something in this video helpful. If you've watched till this point in the video, you can leave a hashtag XUR, or hashtag the final shape, or hashtag Revenant, or hashtag Iron Banner in the comments section down below for another entry into the next giveaway for this video, or any of the comments that I might have asked for, or any comment we might accept for today. Hopefully everybody has a great weekend, and of course I am Wilhelm Scream once more. We will see you next time.